It's a beautiful and cool Friday morning here on the farm. We continue to get things cleaned up, situated, getting some appliances moved in, getting the yard cleaned up. Painting continues, a bunch of other house projects, but today we are headed to Bangkok, which is, I don't know, 4 or 5 hour drive from here, with the intent of finding a vehicle. We've been searching the kind of local area here within an hour or two radius and coming up pretty empty-handed. We're pretty set on buying a truck. I want a Toyota Hilux, or Hilux, which is kind of the most popular rig in Thailand. They've been around forever, they're reliable, and you can get them serviced just about anywhere. So selection up in this neck of the woods has been pretty limited, but in Bangkok, there's a million of them. I'm looking for something that's decent and used, and I'm a little uncertain about the process. There's no Carfax type setup like we have in the US to check a vehicle's history. You've got to kind of have to piece together the service records and try to ensure that the vehicle hasn't been in a flood or in some sort of significant accident, or I guess even like odometer rollbacks are very, very common with some of the shady dealerships. So we've got to be careful, and I'm going into this not as knowledgeable and educated as I wish that I was on the topic, but I'm going to do the best I can, and hopefully we don't get fleeced too badly. So with a little bit of luck, we will be returning from Bangkok in a new to us truck. And the car that we currently have, I think, is my 5th or 6th month in a row renting a car from Hertz, like continuously. If you count our time spent in Austin, I think we had three or four months of rental cars there. Once we decided to take the van off the road and sell that, and we got a month-long rental here in Thailand, which I think we're about 2.5 weeks into or something like that. But I don't want to wait till the very last day. I do not want to rent another car. So mission for this weekend is to drive the rental car to Bangkok, buy a vehicle, and then drive that back. And while we're in Bangkok, maybe pick up a few other items too that pretty excited about. So we'll see. So Pinky and I are here at a place called Cars X in Bangkok, and it's a what's called a tent dealer, which is kind of the equivalent of a buy here, pay here dealer, where, like a lot of buy here, pay here places, there are some good ones, there's a lot of sketchy ones, so kind of buyer beware. And we spent all day yesterday going from legit like Toyota dealers looking at certified cars to a variety of tent dealers. And one tent dealer in particular was a much larger one than what is normal. They had really good reviews online, and I had scoped out a few trucks in advance that looked like sure things. They were nice trucks, good price. And when we went down to look at them, one in particular that we had our eye on, that I honestly thought we'd be buying and driving away with, the saleswoman, and I asked her explicitly 3 times, hey, has this thing ever been in an accident, ever been in a flood? And she said no every single time, guaranteed. Take it to, it was a Toyota truck. She says, take it to the Toyota dealer, have them look at it. They will assure you that it's never been hit. And I'm asking her these questions while I'm laying on the ground underneath the truck, kind of loading her up to catch her in a lie, where after she said specifically 3 times that it had never been in a wreck, I was able to point out 4 or 5 indicators of evidence that the truck had clearly been rear-ended and had a new bed pretty shoddily installed. So there was, body color overspray on parts of the truck that the factory would never have done that with. There was multicolored paint on the frame, really sloppy seam sealer. So like smoking gun evidence the thing had been wrecked, and she clearly lied to us and tried to sell us that truck without disclosing that. After I caught her in the lie, she came back. She's like, well, the truck had been in a small accident prior to it being traded in, and we had to fix the bed. So I immediately just got up and walked out. I said, if we can't trust you on that one, we can't trust you on anything. And long story short, shopped a bunch more trucks that day and ended up with a much more modest truck than I thought we were going to get. We were looking at some rather, used but nice, well-equipped Toyotas and Isuzus, and ended up settling on a 2019 Toyota Hilux on a lowrider, whatever they call it, Vigo lowrider 4-door. I don't think lowrider is the right word, but it's not one of the jacked up 4x4 looking ones that I had originally wanted. And the reason we settled on that is because it was a super, super clean truck. It had 4 full doors, so Pinky's going to be able to drag the family around. We'll be able to drag friends around in it. And after the reality of shopping trucks and seeing what was out there, what the price points were, we really don't need anything too extravagant for a truck. So I just want a simple kind of bang around town, haul stuff to and from the house, the farm, whatever. And I think a modest truck combined with maybe we buy a small commuter car down the road for something that we do road trips with would be a better fit than buying some really overpriced, decked out truck. So it came in about half the price that I was expecting to spend here in Bangkok on a truck, and looks like we're getting a really clean truck. So we're just waiting on the closing right now. Pinky's been dealing with the sales guy who's been super helpful, and a little bit of luck will be wrapped up here shortly and driving out in our new truck. So here she is in all her glory. I wouldn't say this is a dream truck, but it is absolutely perfect for what we need. Just banging around town, banging around the farm. Absolute world's smallest tires and all. I think the man in me at least is going to have to see if I can upgrade those at all. But for a slick little truck at roughly half my kind of worst case scenario budget for this Thailand truck project, pretty happy. 2019, 100,000 kilometers, which is about 60,000 miles, 476,000 baht out the door, which is about 15,000 US dollars. Let's get out of here. Okay, so we just got back late last night, all the way from Bangkok. Now we're back in Phetchabun. Very successful ride home with the truck. Ran perfectly, very happy with it so far. It is basic, but again, I think it is exactly what we need. Minus those god-awful little tires. I gotta do something about that. And also, the trip to Bangkok was a bit of a dual-purpose trip because along with a truck, we also brought back a few passengers. Didn't we? Huh? More on those later.